Why discipline will beat motivation every time. We've all been there. You wake up feeling pumped, full of energy, and ready to crush your goals. You write down your plans, set your alarms, and promise yourself today is the day everything changes. But by lunchtime, that fire starts to fade. The motivation you felt this morning, gone. And by evening, you're back to scrolling on your phone, telling yourself tomorrow will be different. Sound familiar? Here's the truth. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes like the weather. One day you're unstoppable, the next you can't even get out of bed. But discipline is different. It doesn't depend on how you feel. It's a choice you make again and again, even when you don't want to. And that's exactly why discipline will always beat motivation. Let's break it down. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is logical. Motivation is driven by emotion. It's that rush you feel when you watch an inspiring video, read a success story, or set a big goal. It feels amazing while it lasts, but emotions are temporary. They're influenced by your mood, your energy, your environment. If you're tired, stressed, or distracted, motivation vanishes. Discipline, on the other hand, is logical. It's not about how you feel. It's about what you do. It's the commitment to show up, do the work, and follow through no matter what. Discipline doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if you're not in the mood. It just cares that you act. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You don't brush because you're motivated. You brush because it's part of your routine. You do it automatically. That's discipline. And when you apply that same mindset to your goals, whether it's fitness, business, or learning a skill, you start winning. Motivation fades, but habits stick. Motivation is like a spark. It lights the fire, but it doesn't keep it burning. That's where habits come in, and habits are built through discipline. When you rely on motivation, you're always waiting for the right feeling to strike. But what if it doesn't come? What if you have a bad day? What if life gets busy? You stop. And every time you stop, it gets harder to start again. But when you rely on discipline, you build systems. You create routines that don't depend on how you feel. You go to the gym not because you're excited, but because it's Tuesday and that's your workout day. You write 500 words every morning, even if you're tired, because that's what writers do. Over time, these small, consistent actions add up. That's how real progress happens, not in bursts of motivation, but in daily discipline. Discipline builds confidence. Here's something most people don't realize. Discipline actually makes motivation easier. When you consistently show up and do the work, you start to believe in yourself. You prove that you can follow through. That builds confidence. And confidence fuels motivation. But the reverse isn't true. Motivation doesn't build discipline. In fact, relying too much on motivation can make you weak. Because every time you fail to act without that spark, you tell yourself, I'm not strong enough. That's a lie. You don't need motivation to be strong. You need discipline. And discipline is a skill you can develop. How to build discipline without burning out. Now you might be thinking, okay, discipline sounds great, but how do I actually build it? Good question. And the answer is simple: start small. You don't need to become a robot overnight. You just need to make better choices, one at a time. Here's how. 1. Pick one habit to focus on. Don't try to change everything at once. Choose one thing, like reading 10 pages a day, doing 10 push-ups, or writing for 15 minutes. Small wins build momentum. 2. Set a specific time and place. Instead of saying, I'll exercise more, say, I'll walk for 20 minutes at 7 a.m. in the park. The more specific you are, the easier it is to follow through. 3. Remove friction. Make it easy to do the right thing. If you want to read more, leave a book on your pillow. If you want to eat healthier, prep your meals in advance. The less effort it takes, the more likely you are to do it. 4. Track your progress. Use a journal, an app, or a simple calendar. Mark an X every time you complete your habit. Seeing your streak grow is powerful. It reminds you that you're building something real. 5. Be kind to yourself. Discipline isn't about perfection. It's about consistency. If you miss a day, don't give up. Just start again the next day. Progress over perfection. Why discipline wins in the long run? Let's be honest. Motivation feels good. It's fun to dream big and imagine success, but dreams don't pay the bills. Actions do, and actions require discipline. Think about the people you admire, the entrepreneurs, athletes, artists, leaders. What do they have in common? They didn't succeed because they were the most motivated. They succeeded because they showed up, day after day, even when no one was watching. Motivation gets you started. Discipline keeps you going. And that's the difference between people who talk about their goals and people who achieve them. Final thought: choose discipline, choose freedom. Here's the best part about discipline: it gives you freedom. Not the freedom to do whatever you want, but the freedom to become who you want to be. When you're disciplined, you're in control. You're not at the mercy of your emotions. You're not waiting for the right time or the perfect feeling. You're making progress, no matter what. And over time, that progress turns into results, into confidence, into a life that reflects your values and goals. So the next time you feel unmotivated, don't wait for the spark. Light the fire yourself. Show up. Do the work. Be disciplined. Because in the end, discipline doesn't just beat motivation. It beats excuses, procrastination, and self-doubt. It beats the noise. And it wins every single time.